Henley, Latimer, Headington, St Paul's. Attention.
As we come into Heat B for the Junior Under-15 8s for the Chris Bomford Challenge Cup, we've had a late scratch at the start from Lady Eleanor Hollis, leaving 4 boats in this event. Henley, lane 2, Latimer Upper A, lane 3, lane 4, Headington School, and lane 5, St. Paul's Girls' School. We've got some exceptionally tight racing here at this stage, with St. Paul's Girls' School out to maybe a third of a length lead, and it's really all to call between the other 3 crews from Henley, Latimer, and Headington. They're all very determined to reel in St. Paul's, and they're doing it as well. Henley coming in from the outside in lane 2. But they appear to have reeled in St. Paul's Girls' School, but they are neck and neck with Latimer Upper. And all this has done is keep it almost in an absolute straight line. Headington School trailing ever so slightly, but we are talking maybe a deck at this point. So very level racing so far here in Heat B of the Women's Junior Under-15 8s. Less than a second separates all 4 of these crews at the 500-meter mark. This is some really impressive racing. It is not going to be as spread out as the last one. Henley at present currently leading the pack, but again with less than a second to play for. It's 0.8 of a second between all 4 crews at this point. So current advantage Henley, but the schools are always out to challenge the club, and they're going to keep going for it. The angle here as they go through the 750 makes it look like it's much more spread out than I feel it actually is. And there we go. We've got our drone shot from the top. Henley have moved out to about half a length lead over Latimer Upper. Latimer Upper dead level with St. Paul's Girls' School, and Headington. To have Headington in last is unusual, but again, they're not in last by very much. This absolute, I would not want to predict anything from the finish at this stage. Henley currently out there in their 8, passing the 1,000-meter halfway mark, rating a 36 in their first sweeps sprint race, quite possibly ever. Henley now moving out to 2.5 seconds over Latimer Upper, who have just barely over a second over St. Paul's. It remains some incredibly tight racing. The first will go to the final. Whoever crosses the finish line first here moves to the final, and it's the next fastest 3. The way these women are racing, it could all be these 3. It'll be interesting to get some compare and contrast times. Henley continuing to lead as they pass the 12:50 mark. 7:50 to go. Everything's burning right now for these girls. It's got to be the legs are there, the lactic acid's on, the lungs are hurting, you're past halfway. This is the dark hole of the third 500. The red buoys are too far away, and the start seems a very long time ago, and it is tight. Coming out St. Paul's, making their challenge from lane 5. Getting their glances over, and absolutely the angle at the moment, we can't tell. As you can see from this side shot here from the camera, it is still very level. Henley continue to lead, but not by much. Everybody challenging everybody else between Latimer, Headington, St. Paul's School. The club continues to lead the schools, and there is absolutely, at a 36, as they pass the 500 meters to go, passing the 1500, rating a 36. There is less than a second between the final 3 boats. Henley currently 4.5 ahead of Latimer and continuing to look strong, but they'll know the power of the challenge behind them. Again, less than a second between 2nd and 4th. This is some incredible racing, certainly the tightest I have seen so far today. Still clocking at a 36, 2 or 3 strokes from the red buoys. And here they come. The sprint is now. The charge is now. Henley continuing to lead. You can see the rates coming up in all the boats. But as much as the rates are coming up, the rowing is staying very controlled, very tidy. There is everything to play for here to go through to the final. But Henley moving out now to open water lead over the other 3 boats. The other 3 boats almost too close to call, but it appears to be Latimer in 2nd. Headington and St. Paul's duking it out from this angle. Headington have a very slight advantage, but it's going to change. Here we go into the last 5 strokes. It continues to be Henley now by open water, crossing the finish line successfully in first, and we're having a bit of a ding-dong, but it appears to be Latimer upper by a canvas over St. Paul's, with Headington in 4th. That said, Headington in 4th could still make the final due to the fastest 3 times over the 2 moving into the final, and it is going to it remains to be seen which those fastest 3 are.